Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. So today we are going to do a floor panel replacement. I call it a bulkhead, some people call it a firewall, but let me show you what I'm talking about. So this right here is the piece that we're going to end up replacing. And this piece sits just like that on your Pioneer. And that is this piece right here. And why am I replacing it? Well, I have a crack and some funny molding that I did, and well, that's my own fault. So now, the reason I'm replacing this is, well, it's my own fault. I put bigger tires on here. I tried to adjust the plastic with a heat gun and a baseball bat. I ended up going too far and I put small cracks on both sides because my tires rub. I do have a fix coming for that in the next video, so stay tuned. So why would you be replacing this? Well, sometimes people have had some issues. Sticks have gone through the floorboards, especially people who don't run an aftermarket skid plate that goes from the rocker to rocker on both sides. The stock skid plate just really stinks. It's a little like quarter-inch thin piece of plastic that goes just down the center to protect the drive shafts. Or people have had it go right behind the wheel. And this is the area I'm talking about. People have actually had sticks come through the A-arms and puncture here. And that's pretty stout, but again, it is plastic. So today I'm going to show you how to replace it, and it's not too difficult, and I hope it doesn't take too long. But let's go ahead and get started. Now, the only thing I have done to my unit is order the parts. Like I said in a previous video, it's $86 shipped to my house from Rocky Mountain ATV. And what did I get with that? Well, I got the new floor piece. Now this is what I already had. This comes in all the LE models. I have added it to mine. I also got two new covers. I got this cover here for about $5. It's in that $86. And that actually goes right behind there for the pedals. And I also got this cover here, which goes right in here. The reason I have this set out with this is, well, this piece here is a great add-on, and it just kind of goes up here. The problem is you have to drill holes. So my 2017, it didn't have any marks where I had to drill holes, and I actually had screwed one up. But on this new replacement panel from Honda, it has the marks. Let me show you where that's at. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and these are all push pins, and then there's 2 bolts that go there, which are these top 2 there. So let's go ahead, let's get started pulling this panel out. Let me show you instructions real quick in case you're just a visual learner. All right, so here's the first set of instructions. It's actually 3 pages of your owner's manual if you go there. So it's your floor removal, and there's all your push pins, and you have 2 bolts on either side. The problem is, if you look on here, you have to look at page 213 and 29. So here's 213, and it's showing you how to get this side fender off, which is right here. So in order to get the fender off, you have to take the door off, which means you need to go find that old 10mm. That's what holds the door on. And then it's just push pins for the most part. Let's go ahead and start the disassembly process and get this project done. Okay, so for the door hinges, it's a 10mm, and I have my 10mm right there. You're also going to need a plastic rivet trim tool like this, or just a flathead screwdriver. And you're also going to need a hex head that's a 5mm right here, or number 5, I guess. So let's get this started. Okay, now we'll start popping these plastic rivets off. Unless you buy new ones, you will have to reuse these, so just be careful. Fender flares off. So for the floorboards, it's mostly push pins. There are some bolts that have the hex head. See how this comes out. Got this panel gone. just keep popping these out. All right, let me show you the last couple ones I had a hard time with. And one was right here. There's a hex head. One was right here, right there. And the other one was here. Those three hex heads are really tight. So now, let's see if we can get this thing out of here without removing any of these rear panels like the instructions said. The only thing I haven't disconnected is the power source for your 12 volt, and we will figure that one out here in a minute. Now is a real test. Like I said, I didn't do any of these back panels, so let's go ahead and see if we can get this out. Let's move the lights. I'm going to lift up on this just a little bit. So it does look like I have to remove this back panel to get this to slide down. I was trying to be lazy. So it looks like you have the 2 bolts on either corner. Got these 3 on the side, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or so push pins at the top. So go ahead and take those out real quick, and hopefully get this panel out. All right, I got that side popped up. Let's try this side again. All right, there we go. And the floorboard is coming out. Somehow. Now let's see if we can get this piece to slide down. There's those cables. Oh, I forgot one right there. There we go. Wow, that was way more work than I thought. Just finagling out there. There's not a lot of room. Let me show you what it looks like. So this is what you're going to look like. So I did get a new one of these. I'm not going to replace this one. Yet they were only $5, just like that other panel. So for those of you interested, this is your power steering right here. So if you ever had to change that, this is how you get to it. If you were going to change your steering box right now, this is definitely how you want to do it. There's your air intake. Then here is the extra wires I ran, the wiring loom, and then this is for your gear shifter coolant lines. So it's a good time to get in here, do a good inspection if you're going to do this. There's your computer, and you can just kind of see everything right there, such as your shifter, your transmission. Everything's nice and tight. So on the passenger side, I ended up actually taking the whole fender flare off. Let me show you what that looks like. So here you go. This is part of your frame going to the romp system. And this is if you want to take off right there. The reason I took this off is mine had some marks in it. So a new fender flare was only $20. Now you will need to transfer some stuff over. So you have your 12 volt power outlet and these metal clips, which I'll need to transfer over to this one right here. And then I'll have to drill some holes. I think they're 6mm for those push pins. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done, and let's get this reinstalled. So I got everything drilled out and moved over. Let me show you. I have this power port moved over. It just screws in. Make sure it's nice and tight because these have come loose in the past and it's jiggle. I'll plug it in when I get there. And then these two pieces just slide on and off, and that will hold that cover in. Now I did run into some trouble getting this thing out. I don't know if the camera picked it up before I turned the camera off, but there was 2 push pins that I had missed, and let me show you where they're at. Flip your piece over on the back. It is right here. These were the 2 push pins that gave me a really hard time. One thing I forgot to show was when I transferred the pieces over to the new panel, I forgot to show these two screws there. And those two will go on the under seat storage. They're factory, but that's where those will screw in. So let's get back to assembling this. So as you're reassembling this, don't forget there's a bolt in the center that you have to put in before you put this other piece in. And let me show you. It is this one right here that goes. This piece right here has to be screwed in, as the other floor piece will go on there. I've also made sure I plugged in my power outlet on the back side before I got too far. And as you can see, my holes are drilled. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the other floor panel in, go ahead and start putting all the push pins back in. Well, there you have it. That's it. It's as simple as that. The hardest part of this whole project is removing all those push pins. You really only need 3 tools. Something to remove the push pins, the trim tool or a flathead screwdriver, a 5mm Allen head, and a 10mm sockets. Take your time. It takes an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. Not really a big deal. And you don't even have to do like the instructions say. You don't have to remove the whole fender flare like I did on the passenger side. And you don't even have to remove the whole side panel, just a little bit of it. You do need to remove the back section of the floor to get the front section out, but it's not really a big deal. So that's all I have for you on this video. Don't forget to stay tuned to the next video because, well, I'm going to fix the actual issue of why my tires are rubbing, because Super ATV A-arms just don't push tires far enough forward. So there's your hint right there. I got a little more to finish up tonight. I got to re-put this fender back on. If you recall at the beginning of the video, I am putting a new fender on because they're only like $20. That old fender was a little bit beat up when this thing was flopping on the side. So while I have it off, we're gonna reinstall it. But I gotta drill the holes for the mud buster mud flares and the turn signal. So I will get that done and remount the door. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and until next time.